Shoe design has changed a lot over the past decades. To different people, shoes have different purposes and meanings. Whether it's comfort, look, or performance, the very basis for a shoe starts from the design.
I ended up looking at it and just being enamored by all of the technology and just the way that the lines were, the construction of it, the luxurious feel of it, and then let alone all that, the performance was great too. So when you have something like that and you could wear them, you have a certain feel about what you have on your feet. You feel like you can do anything.
My story with shoes starts in, I've always been into shoes, right? It started with the Reebok Pump, and I think I was in like middle school, and it was like the coolest shoe out there, right? I thought it was the coolest thing to be able to actually interact with your shoe. My first pair of shoes, these are 20 years old. They're still awesome. They're Basque Sundowners, one of the original like leather hiking boots, and I put my foot into them and I was like, it was an awesome experience to actually have the shoes be comfortable.
You know, I've always had a fascination for shoes. A lot of my friends' parents worked at Nike, so they were always wearing really nice shoes. And I also really want nice shoes, so kind of saved up some money, built up an allowance, and my passion and my drive to buy shoes just started there. I like design as expression, so like I'll wear a certain design when I'm feeling like a certain mood, happy, sad, whatever it be. Design is just personal expression, it's art. Can't really do art wrong, but it's like how you see the world.
Sneakers mean many different things to different people. Their designs are admired for both comfort and style. To get more information on the design process and the evolution of design in the past 20 years, we went to the place where it all started.
Design to me is a lot of things. It's pretty much everything around you has been designed by someone. A chair you sit in, a car you drive, to even like a garbage can. Everything has been designed and thought about, mainly so that we can live a better life and things can function better. I get my inspiration from just about anything around design, anything that's beautiful and inspiring. I tend to look at and get inspiration from. In my designs, I think storytelling is a very important part of what people are looking for these days. I think they want to understand and remember. Either it could be something from the past or telling a story of an innovation from the future. Since 1995, design has changed quite a bit. I remember when I first started designing basketball shoes. Back then, everything was done by hand, so we sketched on paper, we drew tech packages and the final drawing on paper. And a lot of times we'd have to go to the Xerox machine and copy things and then come back and make changes on the paper. So it's very, very hands-on and physical, whereas today, things are so quick. There's so much innovation. A lot of things are done on the computer, so I'll end up sketching a little bit, but then I'll go straight to the computer, and really it makes things a lot faster. Materials for performance and innovation and inspiration and storytelling, like for the Air Jordan 33, this was the very first prototype that we built here, and this is the prototype that we actually took and gave to Michael Jordan. And when we were talking about inspiration behind this one, it was all about flight utility and spacesuits and the future of flight. And so we were very inspired by things around NASA and spacesuits. And so that really started to inspire the overall look of the shoe and even the material. And so when we were able to give this to Michael Jordan and took him through the storytelling and the inspiration, he was able to look at it and really understand it and start to wrap his mind around the design of the Air Jordan 33.
People like to say sneaker culture, but it's more so an incubator for brand new thoughts, right? People that are trendsetters, that are not willing to buy what the status quo is buying. We like to push the envelope with that, and we work with collaborators, and we tack onto new stories that aren't necessarily Jordan stories from back in the day. I've seen in the past, Cause is a graffiti artist that came out of the East Coast, pretty big, made his way through that pop art world and started bringing things like what Andy Warhol started back in his day a little bit forward to the forefront, right? And graffiti was all about expressionism in his way and hacking and vandalizing pretty much public property. And he took that, was able to create this big empire of art, right? And his art these days goes for millions. And he works with different brands where he would collaborate with them and use his artwork and his vision of things to bring products to life. And we did that utilizing the Air Jordan 4. And with Travis Scott, I think is probably one of the biggest hip hop artists right now. Travis Scott, I think, is a great proponent for us because not only is he a great artist, but he is almost like an art kid, and he loves to just have his own look. And when it comes to trend setting, he does that better than anybody. So it makes sense for him to work with a trend setting brand like Jordan. Right? Jordan came through and did things like no one else did ever. When Tinker looked at MJ, he felt, this guy is so stylish. He's coming in the league. He doesn't look like anybody else. He's such a smooth player. I think that he deserves something a little bit more than just leather and mesh on a shoe. So he took a look at all of these prints that we could use, and he found the elephant and said, this is elegant. It has a nice luxurious feel to it. We're gonna use this on the shoe as a reinforcement. And that was with the Air Jordan 3. So you can see that at the time, that was one of the very first shoes to have anything on it like that, sneakers anyway. So on the court when Jordan came out in that, and it was just, you know, you got this young kid from North Carolina, he's doing a dunk contest wearing gold chains, it's crazy. So I think that he started something where people were buying performance shoes and using them off the court.
Sneaker design has changed tremendously in the past 20 years. Both the process and meaning of design has changed as well, with designers drawing inspiration from a multitude of different places, as well as the significance of influencers in this process. There has been a big shift in shoe design. While comfort and style are always the most important, design has started to evolve in new ways and will continue to evolve for many years to come.